Hey everybody, this is my 40-gallon waterfall tank, and tonight we are going to do a sort of combination video. It's just going to be a simple feeding video, but I also am introducing the new fish that I've got in my tank. I just put them in there this afternoon, so you will notice right in the middle of your screen right now you see that bright white guppy. There's another one up near the top. Those are the two Platinum Guppies I just put in there. And I also put in 3 of the blue Platies. I'm not sure which ones are the high fin Platies and which one are the blue wag. And I say that because the high fin Platies that I got looked exactly like the blue wags, except they had the higher fin on them. So all the Platies look the same. Some of them just have that higher fin, and again, when I picked them out of the tank and brought them over here, I wasn't exactly sure which one was which. Now, one of them didn't look too good when it came over, so I'm not entirely sure if it didn't make the transition well. I didn't really spend a lot of time adjusting them, so we will see whether or not that one comes around. I think the transition from the water the way I did it was a little bit of a shock for it, but we will see what happens to it. Anyway, I'm going to get on with feeding it. Tonight we are going to be putting in a little bit of the Tetra Color granules instead of the flakes. And these are a slow sinking granule, so they sort of make their way around through the water column and give everybody a chance to get some. Some of them tend to stay on the surface and linger a little bit. And that gives the surface fish time to get some. The guppies will get plenty. And eventually even the fish that live down on the bottom will get some. Now, I did recently also put a bristlenose pleco in here, but it was a really little tiny one. It was smaller than a neon. You know, it was much smaller than the little guppies you see in the tank. I saw it once a few days after I put it in there, but since then I have not seen it. So I don't know if that's still in there or not. I have no reason to think it's not. The water conditions are just fine for it. There's no, nothing's changed. If it went past its initial going in the tank and adjusting to the tank, then there's no reason why it shouldn't be still in there. And it looks like that one platy that was swimming a little bit funny has straightened up and everything is just fine. So maybe that was just the shock of being netted up and brought over here. It was swimming a little lethargically, but now it seems to be doing just fine. So not too much to talk about with this tank. I did not bother to check the nitrates or even the dissolved solids or anything like that. I just got done doing a fairly significant water change. This tank does not have a mechanism to get the mulm and stuff out of it. The filters don't pick it up, so I have to manually do that every time I do a water change on this. I remove a lot of mulm when I vac it out, and so that's all part of doing a water change on this tank. And I also wiped down the glass. Now in this tank, it's the outside of the glass that actually needs more attention than the inside, and that is because there's a small tank that sits right in front of this one with an open top. And it's got sort of a little bit of a waterfall effect going, and the result is I get little tiny splishes and splashes that over time accumulate all over the front of this tank, and so the outside of the glass actually gets more stuff on it than the inside. I'm still looking around, seeing if I can spot that little tiny bristlenose pleco anywhere. If I can find it, we'll go ahead and pull the camera off the tripod and get a closer look at it. In fact, I can go ahead and do that anyway, so hang on here half a second. So there's one of the platies, and I guess that is the high fin, because you can see the way that fin is sticking up in the air like that. And that is a nice big fat round one, so I'm hoping that one's already pregnant. Of course, there's one of the Platinum Guppies. These Platinum Guppies are so white and so bright that they almost aren't done justice by my camera. I don't know how to do real camera work, so I just set my camera for auto, and it tries to cope with all the varying intensities of light and so on and so forth. And when I've got these in the picture, it's like trying to focus on a flashbulb going off while also trying to focus on everything else. And they just kind of wash out. You don't even see any detail on them. You just see the bright whiteness. But take my word for it, they are absolutely stunning, beautiful guppies. If guppies are something you're interested in, these platinum ones are really, really pretty. Love my Buenos Aires tetras. They're really starting to put on some size and doing well. They're coloring up nicely. Happy about that. And I just got another glimpse of that platy again. It's in the back, and it was just kind of swimming around near the heater. There it is. You can just see it making its way across the very back in the darkness. There was two of them together. So it is definitely recovered. It's behaving as though it's in unfamiliar territory. It's not behaving as though it's injured or ill or anything like that. It's actually just behaving as though it's kind of scared and hiding in the corner until it gets familiar with its new surroundings. So I'm not going to be too worried about that. I think they'll do just fine. Again, I had them in a quarantine tank for a couple weeks in the other room, and the water in there is virtually identical to the water in here. So should not have been much of a shift and transition. So there you go, everybody. I'm going to leave you with that final look at my waterfall tank. My new fish are now in it. I got some more fish that are in the other room that are still going to be making their way into a few of my other tanks. And I do have some red wag platies that are in another one of my quarantine tanks. I actually have two quarantine tanks running at the moment. And one of them has red wag platies in it. And when they get done with quarantine, I'm going to put probably two of them in this tank. And it'll give us a little splash of that red color in there too. So that'll be something to look forward to. So as I always say, make sure you're subscribed. You never know what you're going to get with me. So thanks for watching this one. Don't forget this one here is my waterfall tank. Thanks again. I'll see you real soon in the next one.